Hey, it's Sri here, and in today's video I'm going to talk you through the 3 most important steps that you can begin to take to avoid emasculating your man. Now before we dive in, I just want to let you know that I'm opening up some limited spots to my free training that's going to walk you through the 3 steps that my client Sarah used to be able to save her marriage in less than 60 days. You're going to absolutely love it. So if your relationship or marriage is not where you want it to be, or you're on the brink of a divorce, this is the training that you really want to be a part of in order to be able to fast track the process towards true transformation within your relationship or marriage. You're going to love it, so stick around to the end and I'll explain all the details on how you can get access. Now every Sunday and Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be uploading some new videos and some new content that will talk you through not only important components around male psychology and how to awaken your feminine spirit inside of you, but also about how you can quickly go about making some changes in your marriage or your relationship to really experience that love and that joy and that passion that I know you want. So just click subscribe if you want to get those videos, and you'll make sure you get notified every week when those videos are uploaded. Now the steps I'm going to walk you through today are at the very core of male psychology, because here's the thing, right? In any relationship, regardless of sex, every relationship contains both masculine and feminine energies. And if we don't understand those energies properly, then relationships just fall apart, and I see it all the time. And that's why in today's video, we're going to talk through the core of the masculine energy of male psychology so that you can understand how you can go about ensuring that you avoid emasculating him, because I see it all the time in relationships. And I know why, and I know even for me in the past when I've been in relationships, it's so easy for someone to make you feel like less of a man. And when that happens, so many relationships fall apart. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is making sure that you don't do the low blows. Okay? One of the things I see a lot is where the partner will publicly criticize someone. So to give you an example, I remember going to a brunch the other day, and I was watching this couple that I was having brunch with my wife, and you could see that his partner, she was just constantly criticizing him. Okay, she was constantly making comments. And we're over at their place, and he had made some food. And as he brought it out there, she immediately began to criticize how well or how poorly at the time that he had actually made this particular item. And I actually thought it was lovely. I thought it tasted amazing, so did my wife. But for her, it wasn't quite at the standard that she wanted. So she proceeded to basically make some negative comments. And this guy is a lovely guy. He didn't resist it, but she really made an effort to do that to him. And this is an example of the low blow, okay? He made an effort, he wanted to cook, he wanted to make, a lovely meal for all of us. And in turn, she criticizes him, and that ultimately resulted in him feeling pretty emasculated. And you could see that he actually started to get a little bit quiet, a little bit, submissive. You could sense his energy shift quite a lot. And one of the things that's so important to remember is try to avoid the low blows, okay? You might be annoyed at him. You might be pissed at him. He might have done something silly. But I promise you that if you criticize those things in front of other people, it's only going to make him feel worse. That I can assure you. So you really want to avoid the low blows at all costs. Now look, I know he's not perfect. I know he's not without fault. I know he's done some stupid stuff in the past. There's no doubt about it. All of us have, okay? That's just the reality of it. But we've got to remember that a relationship is all about giving and not getting. And when we're always focused on, getting all the time and not giving, then, a relationship built on those foundations will typically never last, okay? Or at least you might find that they might stay together, but they won't be happy, period. So really, really do your best to avoid the low blows. Now the second thing you want to avoid is sarcasm. Now the saying is, sarcasm is the lowest form of wit. And for a lot of guys, when their partner is constantly being sarcastic towards them in a way that's kind of bringing them down, then that's another surefire way of emasculating a man, okay? You want to avoid sarcasm. You want to avoid all those little digs that, you know, might seem like a joke to you, but for him, it's eating away at his sense of self, at his sense of worth. You know, it could be comments like maybe he's supposed to be doing something around the house and he always forgets, and you might say like, oh yeah, sure, I know you're going to do that really quickly, or something like that. And it could just be little digs like that. It doesn't have to be a large thing. It could be something small like that. But if it's constantly chipped away at a man's psyche all the time, over and over and over, then, you know, he's going to start to feel emasculated, because a man wants to feel significant. He wants to feel respected. And if his own partner or wife does not actually respect him in the way that he needs, then guess what? If there's another area in his life that makes him feel that, whether that be work or sports or whatever, then he's going to spend more time there, because that's where it makes him feel alive, makes him feel significant. So do your very best to avoid any sarcasm in the relationship or the marriage, okay? A little bit from time to time as a lighthearted joke, no problems. But if it's constantly digging away and chipping away at his sense of self and his self-worth, then there are going to be some problems in the long run. Now, to give you an example of how powerful this is, one of my clients, she was someone who was very sarcastic towards her husband, and it used to just really eat him up quite a lot. And after doing a little bit of work with her, we really made sure that she started to implement this properly. And so she really started to have a lot more empathy and a lot more understanding, and made her husband feel like a hero, like a real man. And then she started to notice that he wanted to spend more time with her and really connect with her and all that good stuff. And I know that in my own life, you know, my wife, she makes me feel like $1 million. So I want to spend lots of time with her. I love it. Nothing brings me more joy than spending time with my wife. It's just such an amazing feeling. So, you know, I want that for you as well. And a way that you can start doing this is really to make your man feel significant by avoiding the sarcasm. Okay, it's a really important thing to do. Now, a quick question for you, and I'd love you to write down in the comments below, what's the single biggest challenge that you face when it comes to making your husband feel like a man and feel his masculine energy in? Just write it below, write the comments below, and I'd love to go through and answer them for you, okay, if you have any questions around that. Now, the third most important thing you can do to avoid emasculating your man is to stop disrespecting him if you are, okay? Disrespecting a man is it's a killer, okay? It's a killer for a guy. And I'll tell you the reason why. See, at the very top of the tree when it comes to a man's needs and values is this need to feel respected, okay? He needs to feel respected, because his whole sense of purpose and mission is to go through and conquer and achieve things and do well and succeed and all that good stuff. And what that does is it makes him feel worthy enough in order to love. A guy often needs to feel significant and respected first before they can step into love, which is very different to, you know, most women where their motive is love. And that's a beautiful thing. I love it. I wish more men could spend more time actually more focused on love than trying to achieve and conquer and all that sort of stuff. But it is what it is at this stage. So it's really important that you avoid disrespecting your man, because as that happens, he feels like lesser of a man. And if he feels like less of a man, he's going to go to places where he feels respected, whether that's work, whether that's playing sports, hanging out with his friends, etc., etc. And that's what you want to avoid, okay? And the question is, how do you go about doing that? How do you avoid disrespecting your man? Well, that's a really good question, and I go through all of that in my free masterclass that I talked to you about, where I walk you through the 3 most important steps that my client Sarah used to be able to save her marriage. It's a free training, and all you need to do is below this video in the description section, you will see a link to register for the masterclass. You can go through and you can choose a time that works for you, and I will talk you through those 3 most important steps. You'll absolutely love it, and make sure you stick around to the very end because you will get access to a free gift that I know you're gonna love. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've liked it, make sure you hit the like button below. If you want to get more videos like this, hit the subscribe button. And if you want to learn how to effectively give your husband or partner space, click on this video above. And if you want to learn the 3 steps that you can take to begin to save your marriage or relationship now, click this video above. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you in the next video.